penultimate story in this collection is the one that focuses a lot on my man Sam. And it is called The Assassin and the Underworld. So Selena returns to Rifthold fully intending to pay off Arabin. She buys herself an apartment, but when she returns to the Assassin's Keep, Arabin is so apologetic. It's giving major manipulator. It's giving super duper gaslighty. It's very uncomfortable. Like their dynamic, not a fan of it at all. He showers her with gifts. He buys her this really expensive armor. And he asks her to take on this new super high profile client who's a wealthy woman that wants her husband assassinated. Selena agrees to take on the job. And when Sam says, hey, it's been ages since I've seen you, can I join you on this mission? She goes, actually, yeah. Yes, you may, Sam Cortland. They're then all at this party, and this is iconic. You've got Selena there, Sam is there. You've also got the third OG member of their Twisted Triangle, Lysandra. Lysandra is the OG Selena Sardothian female enemy. They do not like each other, and I love it. They are so mean. They are so horrible. Because Selena is obviously this beautiful, glamorous assassin. Lysandra is a courtesan in training, and she is stunning. And what I love is that most of the animosity comes from Selena recognizing a genuine threat. She's like, it's real feminine animosity. And obviously, Sam and Lysandra get on. Selena's not a fan of that. It's just, I love Lysandra in this book. Lysandra is so cool. It's so good that you get to meet her. She becomes a main character in the books. I can't believe I didn't mention her until now. Lysandra is awesome. She is the dark-haired, glossy, glamorous counterpart to Aylin's golden, glowing goddess. The two of them together, too powerful, too powerful. So at this point, now they are fractured, they are separate. And they're all at this party. Sam is at this party. And this is where we do get the cameo of Chaol and Dorian in this book. Everyone's in masquerade get-ups, and it's so funny. Dorian starts full on giving Selena, who is also masked up, the riz, like their banter. Who comes over? Sam. Comes over because she's flirting with another guy, and you're like, oh, and that other guy's Dorian, which means Dorian and Chaol, who've heard so much about Sam Cortland, they actually met him IRL and they just don't know. Oh, it's so good. And it's so clear that Sam is a Selena simp. It's painful. She doesn't see that he likes her as much as he does at this point. Now, the day after the party, Selena goes and pays off her debt to Arabin. Girl is free as a bird, but she says to him, look, I still want to work together. I like working with you. I do not want to end on bad terms, but I'm gonna go live somewhere else. Let's be friends. Let's keep on working together. Pass me contracts when you want. You are still very much my mentor. Please and thank you. Let's not do anything bad to each other. Now, Selena goes off to complete this contract she said she'll do for Arabin with killing this woman's husband. And while she's doing some surveillance, she gets caught, which is very dodgy because she's not the kind of woman who gets caught doing stuff. Our first hint that something is up. Homegirl gets taken down into the city sewers and left there as the water starts rising. So she's at a grate like, I died. It's so annoying. This is so cool. And who comes and saves her at the last minute and gets her out? Of course, it's Sam Cortland. Just worried about her, keeping an eye on her. He said he was going to help after all. They go ahead and Selena ends up killing this woman's husband. Turns out he's the good guy. Bit too late to take that back now. And Selena's like, I guess that is the problem with a job like this. Maybe I'm not as much of a fan of the unaliving game as I thought I was. And it's after that she actually makes it clear to Arabin, oh no, I've got an apartment. I'm leaving today. I've made plans. I've already been moving stuff about. I'm gone, babe. Like, thanks, but no thanks. I'm gonna go back to my own place now. And he's like, whoa, this morning you paid me and now you got what? Homegirl was planning ahead. She was planning to leave him as you should do when you're in that kind of abusive relationship. Because he did try to win her back with all of these presents and praise, which she'd already sorted out her apartment, which was the right thing to do. But Homegirl's not done because she brought her Astarion horse back with her. She brought that beautiful, beautiful horse back with her to Rifthold, you know, the one that she stole, and she sells it. And you've got to be thinking, what? What good reason would this woman have to sell something so precious? She buys Sam's contract out. She buys Sam's freedom. She gives up her horse to save Sam. Okay, Sam's just saved her life as well, by the way. And you're like, oh my God, Selena, stop. Why are you such a good person? And it's at this point, Sam plucks up the courage and he says, well, do you know why my punishment for the whole Skull Spade debacle was I didn't get beat up? I didn't get sent to the assassin school. And she's like, no, I thought that was a bit unfair. He's like, because my punishment was watching him beat you. He made me watch while you got beaten up because that's the worst thing he could have done to me. Because I love you. I've always loved you. And I know you don't feel the same way, but you've just bought out my contract, so maybe you do care about me. I've loved you forever. And it's like it's just and she's like, I have similar feelings for Sam. The final story in Assassin's Blade, the one in which everything goes terribly, terribly, terribly wrong, is called The Assassin and the Empire. And at this point, Arabin has used the money Selena paid to buy out her contract to buy Lysandra's first night. Okay, because obviously Lysandra and Selena, they're teenagers at this point, and she's been groomed to be a courtesan, and her first night with anybody is worth an awful lot of money. Something that I only knew from watching the Memoirs of a Geisha movie way too young. But anywho, Arabin spends all of Selena's money on spending a night with Lysandra, which Selena's like, that's insulting. But really, when you look at it as like an adult reader, you're like, oh, poor Lysandra. Oh, that's so creepy. Oh, and he's definitely done that because he knows it'll bother Selena. That's so creepy. Now, this story starts with Selena sneaking into the Royal Theatre to watch the symphony play. And we realize this had so much weight to the whole piano music conversation in books 1 and books 2, because we find out that Selena, she loves music. She loves the theatre. That's been her thing. Like Arabin used to take her to the theatre all the time. But she sneaks into the theatre and's watching from the rafters, and she sees that Arabin has now taken Lysandra in her place. And she's upset because they do have this awful dynamic where she's been groomed to basically always crave his approval, and he's now replacing her with Lysandra, which doesn't help their already not great relationship. And we know this because we've seen Selena in one of the previous stories go to the theatre with Arabin. But when she came back and was all sad about like, oh, that it was the most amazing piece of music I've ever heard ever. It's such a shame that the sheet music's not available because it's brand new. And the next day, she's got the sheet music. It's left for her. Sam's got it. Sam went and got her the music that she'd heard the night before and really, really liked. He went out of his way to get it and then like slip it to her. And initially she's like, oh, how lovely of Arabin. But it's not. It's obviously Sam. And she plays the music. And so, oh my God, I'm going to well up. Okay, Sam gets her that music in Assassin's Blade, and she plays it, and she's like, "Oh, this is amazing!" And so, in the actual books like books 1 and 2, when she and Dorian are talking about music, and she sits at the piano, but it's just that memory of music, something that she loved. She doesn't let herself enjoy anymore. She won't play anymore because he's not there, because Sam's not there. And so that interaction with Dorian where they're talking about instruments and she reveals she can play the piano, and that whole scene you're thinking of now. She's there at the theatre. You found out like the relationship she's got with music and how that's wrapped up with Arabin, yes, but now, like within this book, within this story, how her relationship with music starts to become more about Sam. And you know what's about to happen to him? So it's like the last time we see her and music like happily together. And then you've obviously got her conversation with Dorian that you're already aware of, and that scene. And later on in the series, we see Selena properly play the piano again. And oh, it does me in. It does me in every time. Like I've actually welled up because Sam got that music. And this theatre is really important to Selena, and like just symbolically, it's a lot. But she comes back to the but she goes back to the apartment, having seen Arabin and Lysandra together. So she's already like, me, not super happy. Walks in, Sam's not there. Sam's not at their apartment. And she's fuming. She's like, you were doing underground fighting. When he comes back in, right to the apartment, she has a proper go at him. She's like, that is dangerous. You should not be going and taking part in these underground fights. And he makes it clear, but Selena, we need the money, okay? We need the money. We can't have normal jobs. We're assassins. I'm a really good fighter. I'm going to go and do these underground fights. Selena makes it very clear that she does not want Sam earning his money that way. And Sam says, look, I want us to have enough that we can move away, get away from here, start fresh, become new people. So they go to visit Arabin and they say, hey, look, we're part of the Assassin's Guild. We want to pay out. Okay, we want to leave. We want to completely cut ties now. And Selena offers to pay their way out. She's bought their freedom as individuals, but they've got to pay to be out of the overall Assassin's Guild. And so she says, look, Arabin, tell me what we need to pay to leave, and we will. And he names like the most outrageous sum. Like it's obscene. And the two of them are like, what? But Selena's got no other option, so she agrees. Sam wants to leave. She wants to leave. She's like, okay, fine. We'll figure out a way to get that money. So the two of them need to find a big contract. It needs to be a big kill. And Sam finds one, which is a nearly impossible kill. Like, they're the only two people who could pull this off in the whole city because it's a local crime lord and his right-hand man, Farron, who's evil. Like, these guys are messed up. And Selena kind of reluctantly agrees to it because even though they've got these great reputations, they're great killers, they are kids, like they're teenagers. And Selena, she's ready to tap out, but she's like, okay, fine, let's do it. And they talk about how they're going to go about it. And they're like, okay, we'll do the right-hand man first. We'll go after Farron. And Sam says, that one's for me. I'll do Farron, and then the two of us together will do the boss. And Selena agrees to it. You also have in this story the soap, which does come into play later on in the story as well, like the series as well, where Selena has this very bougie, very expensive lavender soap, and she will not let Sam use her bougie soap. Okay. Which you don't think matters, but it does. It comes into play in this story and then later on in the series. I'm mentioning it now because it's a kind of thing. But one night, Selena's in the apartment and Arabin pops by and he says, look, I've heard what you're planning. Don't do it. It's a dumb move. Why are you trying to get away anyway? Okay, I love you. Come back home, be with me, stay in Rifthold. And she's like, I think not. I think not. No, thank you. Now, as they plot this particular kill, Sam books passage to the continent. Okay, he books them passage. Officially, they've got tickets. They're going to leave after this kill. He's decided to do that because he bumps into Arabin, and Arabin's like, Sam, you know what you should do? You should ask Selena about her life before Rifthold. Before she came here, before she became an assassin, ask her about her past. Now, if you read this book first, you don't get what Arabin's saying, okay? But if you know, if you've read books 1 and 2, and you're like, oh yeah, Sam don't know her real name. Sam doesn't know anything about our girl. And you have this amazing moment where they're there and they're going to spend the night together, and he wants to know everything about her. And she's not like ready to go all the way yet. And he's so respectful of that. And she's uncomfortable about talking about her past. And he's so respectful of that as well. Do you know what he says to her? Like, they're about to start their lives together. And he's like, we've got all the time in the world. We've got all the time in the world. He says that. Oh. Oh. And now we get to where everything is awful. Okay, because Selena's in the apartment and Sam's late. He's out meant to be doing Farron, he's going after the right hand man, and he's not come home. And she frets and she frets and she frets. She's left the apartment. She's hunted for him all over the city. She can't find him. She comes back home. She is still sat there waiting. And then it's Arabin. It's Arabin at the door. Girl's been going crazy. And he tells her Sam's dead. And she's just, she's with grief. And she's like, I need to see him. I need to see what they did to him. And he doesn't want to take her there. He's like, look, it's bad. It's really bad. But she's like, no, I have to go. And so they head to the keep. And it's like she doesn't believe that he's dead until she sees him, and she sees that they've mutilated his body. And she's next to him and she won't leave. And all she's thinking is, oh my God, he smells of cheap soap. Like, I didn't even let him use my nice lavender soap, and now he's never going to get to use it, and I'm never going to get to tell him all the things I had to tell him, and we're never going to get to leave together and live our lives together. We hadn't even started. Like, it's just gone. All of this possibility, it's gone. Sam's gone. He's gone. Oh, it's the worst. It's awful. It is awful. And obviously she collapses. She's there. She cries. She's a mess. And when she wakes up, she's in her old bedroom in the keep, and the door is locked. She is trapped in there, and she can hear Arabin talking about retaliation. What are we going to do to get him back for killing Sam? And homegirl breaks out. Okay, she climbs out a window and she's like, no, I'm going to go after him. This crime lord Jane and this guy Farron, they killed Sam. I'm going to get him. Screw Arabin organizing retaliation. I'm going to do it myself. So she goes to Jane's house. She breaks in. She takes them down. And then this smoke comes in. She gets knocked out. Homegirl gets knocked out. So Selena realizes someone at the keep must have seen her leave. Okay, she's been betrayed by someone who is part of the Assassin's Guild. So it turns out Farron, the right-hand guy of the crime lord Selena's just killed, he turns Selena over to the king in exchange for like kind of approval of becoming the new crime lord in the city. So Selena's brought before the king and a load of others for a private trial. He decides that she's going to have to serve 9 life sentences in Endovia prison up in the mines. He makes that ruling. Homegirl's never leaving the mines. Or so she thinks. Now you think at this point we're all caught up. She is sentenced. She is leaving. Can't believe I actually cried. Ugh, so embarrassing. But then we cut to Farron, who has like literally just served Selena up on a plate to the king, and Arabin together, watching the cart that has Selena in it leave Rifthold. And Farron asks Arabin, why'd you do it, man? Why'd you betray Selena? And Arabin just says, well, I don't like to share my belongings. Arabin Hamel set Selena up. He got Sam killed. He killed Sam. He killed Sam and betrayed Selena because he didn't like the fact that Selena was leaving him for Sam. She was going to leave Rifthold. She was going to leave him behind. If this is the first book you read, you always know that Arabin's the baddie, but like, if you've just read books 1 and books 2, you don't know who betrayed them. And throughout this book, Arabin just seems like a creep. But it is like, oh no. Now we know who 100% is gonna be at the top of Selena's must-die list. We've got the King of Ardlet, okay, who killed her family. And then we've got Arabin Hamel. Joint first place. Joint first place. Bad in all the worst ways. And the book ends on a scene that I don't think you know the impact of unless you've read books 1 and 2, which is the way of pretty much all of Assassin's Blade, which is why you should read the third. But Selena's in this car knowing that Endovia is a death camp, okay? No one survives there for more than a few months. She's on the way to die. But as the cart is passing through woodland, they're obviously going north. Endovia's right by Terrason. And she sees a really incredibly rare white stag in the moonlight. And the white stag is the sigil, it's the symbol of Terrason. It's that reminder of while things have ended here for Selena Sardothian, that there's still a part of her that is completely separate to everything that's happened with Sam. There is this small kernel of herself buried deep, 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 deep down. And that is Aelin Galathinius. And she looks up and she sees this creature, this almost like holy animal in the eyes of Terrace people. And she goes, actually, no, I need to live. There is something to live for. Even when everything else is going wrong, I I need to keep going. Which obviously if you've read books 1 and 2 before this, it's because she's Terrace's last hope. Everything can have gone wrong personally. She can be in the worst position ever. She cannot. She just needs to fight a little bit longer. Just needs to keep going. Is this something she remembers the entire time that she's in Endovia? Of course not. She's there a year. It's like a year of being tortured. But right there, that symbol, that reminder, maybe I am special. I was loved once. I was wanted once. Like, please just keep going a little bit longer. And it ends with her moving on, going into Endovia, never knowing if she'll leave, thinking that this might be the end, but that maybe there's a little bit of chance if she can just persevere long enough. And obviously, we know that in 12 months' time, Kale and Dorian are going to come for her. That there is a reason. There is a purpose to it all. Homegirl is on a path. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. And in terms of the whole story, that light is Terrace. It's home. It's where she's meant to be. And yes, thus ends Assassin's Blade. One of the most, I was going to say devastating, but we barely scratched the surface of what this series is going to do to us. But a book in Throne of Glass that I love. It's another banger. It's a cracker. It's 5 mini stories that just, they end up meaning so, so much. And Sam Cortland, we get him offering Selena advice in this book when she's nervous. And he says, do you know what I do whenever I'm scared? I tell myself, I'm Sam Cortland and I am not afraid. And obviously, you fight like in the next few books, I'm like, but that's become Selena's thing. Like she's going, I am Selena Sardothian, and I am not afraid. And that's something Sam taught, and every time she says it, she's thinking of Sam. That comes from this book, and you've heard her say, I am Selena Sardothian, I am not afraid, several times by now. When you hear Sam say it, that it's Sam's sort of like, I'm scared and I need to bolster myself up thing. And that it comes from him, a part of him lives on in her. A little bit of hope, a little bit of goodness and appreciation that there are good, kind people who are worthy of being saved in this world. And everything that comes after, any remote bit of goodness that happens from this point on, you're sat there going, yeah, this is because the universe owes her it. Okay, Sam Cortland's gone. Homegirl is owed all the goodness in the world. The universe should just be nice to her. We are at a low point. We're at a low point, and we are just about to jump back in to the narrative with a complete shift. Ow. Like, the squad split up from this point onwards. We are moving into the Aelin section of the Throne of Glass series. We're saying goodbye to Selena. And we're saying hello to the fire-breathing bitch queen, Aelin Ashriba Galathinius. And as a little additional note, if you could please share this with anyone who you think will find this content useful, I would be incredibly grateful. These videos have taken an awful long time to shoot, so I would really appreciate you helping me get them in front of the people that these will prove useful to. If you've liked it, please actually like the video. Comment what you thought. Comment on anything you think I should have mentioned and have missed out so that we can help more people blitz their way into the Massiverse. Please just share where you can. Tell people about this series. Don't leave me here speaking out into the digital void. I've done this because I'm hoping it will help people. So please help me help others work their way through this and prep for future Sarah J Maas releases. Rant over. I hope you've enjoyed this video and I hope you're enjoying our trip into the Massiverse. I'll see you next time. Bye.